I'd like to share my experience with the installation of a Dinan rear trailing arm monoball kit on an E46 M3. I'm not going over how I got to this point. There are many ways to get here. Bushing has been removed. As long as the car is nice and secure on jack stands, we're in a good position. There's what Dinan calls the carrier. It's got the monoball within it. There's a cap that gets mounted to the back with 8 M5 bolts and a sleeve that goes here. That's one of the last steps of the installation. The kit includes the 609 Loctite that gets applied here and inside the bore of the trailing arm. One of the things that I realized by inspecting the trailing arm carefully is that, to me, it seems that it does matter what face the carrier comes in from onto the trailing arm. I see that this outboard surface of the trailing arm is machined and it seems nice and smooth, and it's also perpendicular to the bore. Same perpendicularity exists here, so it seems to me that this would be a good match. When I look at the back, I see that this inboard surface is not machined, and it also is at an angle, so I cannot see that there is any perpendicularity between this surface and the bore here. In fact, there's an angle that's less than 90 degrees, it seems like. So it wouldn't make sense to come in with bushing through the back. We're going to go through the front. Yeah, so for preparation of the surface, I used 800 grit sandpaper with some lubricant, and I just made sure that the previous bushing had not left any marks or any burrs here, such that it would get stuck during the installation operation of the monoball. It's very smooth. I've washed it with soap water and Scotch-Brite. I've made sure that this surface here is also very clean. Used denatured alcohol. I've wiped the surface already, so I'm gonna go inside here and wipe the surface and let it air out. Here's the step where I'm applying some Loctite inside the bore. I'm ready to insert this in and do the same thing here. I've already installed the other side, and I did a quick fit check here. The idea is to make sure the Loctite is all over on all surfaces. So I'm pushing this in so I have good access. The idea is to come in very carefully, make sure I'm coming in nice and straight, and then go in with a twisting motion. And I get stuck here, so I'll use the bushing press to do the rest of the steps and completely insert this in. See, I'm here. It's almost done. Only a few millimeters left for the carrier, the flange of the carrier, to rest against the machined surface of the trailing arm. I have my bushing press in place, and I'm going to nicely drive this in. While watching until this is nicely rested against the face that it should be resting against. It's going in very easily. this is done. It's seated. Okay, now I've made sure that this is nice and secure. Because of the length of this rod here, I have to undo the screw in the back to disassemble this before I can safely take it out. So the carrier is installed, pressed in all the way. I've gone around and I've inspected around the perimeter here, and I've made sure that it's nicely seated. There are no gaps anywhere. You can do a check with a feeler gauge. This looks good. So again, like I was saying, coming in from this side seems to be a good decision. And here's a view of how it looks around the back. Protrudes here nicely, and when this cap comes in, it's actually going to rest against the carrier. I'm going to install this cap, put it around the back. 8 M5s, I had mentioned these earlier. Instructions state to use Loctite. My choice is Loctite 242 for the screws. Put the 8 screws in. I use a flange torquing pattern for 8 bolts. So it's a 3mm Allen key, by the way. So I'm gonna go one at a time.
Alright, so now the monoball is installed, cap is in place, 8 bolts all torqued up. Just for my own reference, I also marked the date of the installation here. I let it sit for about 24 hours just because I had the time to let the Loctite 609 reach its maximum strength.
Pretty much the last step is what we're looking at here. I have put the sleeve inside. Next is this bearing block. I'm gonna slip this on here, and BMW recommends that you replace the lock nut here. I'm also replacing the bolt. Well, installation is complete. The bearing block is in place. The long bolt is in. Locking nut is nice and torqued to 110 Newton meters, according to the specifications of BMW. As you see, this is moving very nicely without too much effort, but it's a very nice, snug feel. This is just a very good feel. I'm very pleased with the way this turned out and how it feels here. I'm looking forward to driving the car with this. The next steps are obviously putting things back together and wheel alignment and getting the car back out on the road. I hope you found the video useful. Thanks for taking the time to watch.